We have with us here this morning Mr. Sean Davidson, top market researcher from GK Capital. Sean, you have just been declared the winner of the fourth quarter for the market research competition from the JSE. What inspired you to get into the market research competition? What drove you? Is it that you looked at it, you said, hey, these guys are winning, I can beat them, or you thought it was really something worth, delving into?
Yeah, I mean, so last year, my managing director, Kareem Tomlinson, who you've probably familiar with. Yeah, so he really encouraged me to throw my hat in the race. And, from ever since I've been looking out for the notification to say, hey, we have a market competition coming up. So I said, okay. Saw this one, had to go in,
Is there anything about the competition that you think, would really help whether yourself, since you're in the market research, you're doing research, so it helps you to keep sharp, or anything about the competition that would provide additional information, whether to investors, whether for your company? What is it that would, you think would be top priority?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess let me start with why the competition is important. So I've always been a curious person.
No.
When I was small, I always used to read. I read a lot. I always had a lot of questions. Why is the sky blue? Why do we stick to the earth? Gravity, right? I mean, personally, I've always been fascinated with how capital drives growth in companies and the economy as a whole. For me, at GK Capital, it kind of gives me the opportunity to step away from, well, not really step away, but, it gives me a break to say, okay, instead of modeling, multi-billion-dollar transactions, it gives me a chance to now look at fresh companies, companies that I might have not looked at in the past, and as well as for investors, it gives them the opportunity to dig deeper into these companies, to actually, possibly generate real returns from these analyses.
And that's very important. Do you believe that we, as a people, we tend to pay attention to the fundamentals of companies when we're looking to invest, pay attention to the market research, the market trends, and what causes or drive these trends, what causes shifts, what are the, as you talk about capital driving profits and hence moving stock prices, is this something that we should pay more attention to as we look to grow wealth?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, whenever you're investing, you always want to dig beneath the surface, more than just headlines. You need to actually understand the business that you're investing in. You treat investing very seriously. You have a long-term goal. You want to make sure that you're buying quality businesses.
Yeah. And therefore, you would encourage more participants in the market research competition.
Certainly.
And for the stock exchange to even publish your work, the results of some of these analyses, so that the market can see the kind of research that is needed, one, and the kind of information and analysis that is being published on companies.
Yeah, I have no issues with that.
Why do you think you came out on top, though? What is it about your research for this particular fourth quarter competition that put you above all the others that participated?
Well, I'd say it's more of the rigor of the analysis that I completed. Really digging deep in the audited financial statements, ensuring that I answer every question that was proposed, that I answer in the competition. And just the level of insight that I brought out, I completed the financial model, made the recommendation backed by solid evidence. So
You mentioned financial modeling earlier in the interview. Talk to me about that. I mean, how important is that? Is it every analyst that does this kind of modeling? Are there different type of modelings for different type of companies, etc.?
right. So I mean, when we talk about financial modeling, and especially when we're looking at stock valuation, we typically conduct a three-statement model, and then we look at various types of valuation techniques based on the cash flows of the company, and we're looking at the future, right? So we want to discount those future values back to the present.
Back to present.
Right. So I mean, financial analysts within the industry, this is something that they are experts at. So most financial analysts should have these techniques under their belt.
It raises two questions. Just for clarity for the viewers watching, you're doing the financial modeling, you're doing the analysis. You said you want to be able to look at future profits, future cash flows, but yet you discount that back to today. Is there a reason for that?
Certainly. So time value of money, right? $1 today is worth more than it is tomorrow. Given inflation, uncertainty, etc. So you need to be able to discount those future cash flows back to today and say, okay, what are those future cash flows worth today?
And by looking at future cash flows, we're saying to ourselves, since profits drive stock price movement and company growth and expansion, we want to see in the future where this company is going when we talk about future cash flows, etc. And then if it is going up in the future, what is that valued at in today's money?
Exactly.
Am I correct?
We invest for a future benefit.
Yes.
So that's the primary reason.
You have been selected as the top man this time around. You think this competition is something that investors should be paying more attention to because of the kind of work that analysts like yourself put into it, and also to use these results as a gauge to future investment decisions?
Yeah, certainly. If you're a client of a stockbroker, we provide regular research. Research is actually what drives those recommendations. So when a broker comes here and say, okay, I think Trans-Jamaica is a buy, that's backed by solid research that's done in the background. So I think certainly a lot of people should be utilizing this research and actually making impactful investment decisions with these research.
I'll step out of the thing for a little bit and look at the market in its current state. Do you think the market, based on your research, is undervalued at the moment, and therefore more people should be looking at the market with a view to asking their financial advisor, do you have any research on this stock? What are the fundamentals saying, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, certain stocks on the stock market are at 5-10 year lows. So in investing, you always want to buy low, sell high. So I think right now, when things are low, this is the time for investors to be stepping into the market.
So we've been chatting with Sean Davidson. He's one of the top research experts at GK Capital, and of course came out #1 in the Jamaica Stock Exchange's 4th quarter research competition. You may want to follow the competition at jamstockx.com or just call the stock exchange. Look at the kind of analysis that these researchers are putting out. It may impact your next portfolio decision.